What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and do another video to go over some of the FBI subpoena documents that have been sent out to, um, the village of Dolton. For a second, no, this is a total of 5 FBI subpoenas. 5, okay, 5. So in addition to the most recent one that dropped on February the 25th, we're going to go over the previous one that was dropped last year, April, in which they were all of the participants in or the persons of interest in the FBI subpoena were ordered to testify before a grand jury on May 20th of 2024. So we haven't even been a full year, maybe a good 10 months ago, where they dropped 4 other subpoenas. Now this is the 5th one. Now, for those who keep saying, well, if the FBI came and got it by now, then I guess they won't get it. Obviously, you have no idea how the FBI works. And they certainly don't work the way you think they should work. It would be beneficial for you to read the FBI subpoenas. That way you can get an idea of what's going on. I did get the email because I'm not on Facebook. So Dear Woke Christian sent me the video of this Cassandra Cornmeal with hops and beers or whatever, Jordan, who wears Jordans. Yeah, I'm going all the way there with you. Did a Facebook page, a video, ranting on about something. So I saw parts of it. I saw most of it, actually. I'm going to do a reaction to it just because I need a good laugh for no other reason. You don't have a platform or anything. So all this nonsense you keep talking about, you're not bringing facts, you're not bringing anything to the table. It's kind of hard to take you seriously. So hopefully this all will be clear. I think it's an issue with me live streaming. I do not have like home internet. I'm, at the mercy of a hotspot or two. So that, it's the reason why when it's streaming, it's a lot different. I did have the chit chat with Nate Fields Jr. last night. That was awesome and epic. I do apologize for the noise skipping. I might actually use a separate device because of the previous live stream I did yesterday morning, where I was going over this information, and it was lagging so bad. And it's irritating because I want to be able to give you guys good quality content. I finally got set up with StreamYard. I'm going to be signing up for the services today, I guess, because that you all should know where these donations are going and if there's going to the channel. So it will be. I'm on StreamYard right now, but I'm doing a pre-recorded video. I'm not gonna live stream this, but I'm just gonna premiere it, and hopefully you guys can see the information from there. Any and all donations you guys provide here, trust me, it's going to go to a StreamYard to get some internet, to get a desk and a chair, first and foremost, because those are the more important, pertinent things that I need to get you guys some great quality content here. And of course, with me going on and pursuing some of this independent journalism and doing reporting and research, I want to be able to give great content. People need to be able to hear and see clearly what I'm presenting. So I'm excited about it all. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and thank all of you for support. The super chat, super thanks, the cash apps, they do not go unnoticed. And please know that it will be going towards the benefit to this channel to upgrade and to get the things that's needed here to make it better. Because we have a lot of information I need to put forward, and a lot of people who are asking, for reporting and research on other individuals, which I do plan on doing. I mean, Super Stupid isn't the only person on earth, but I don't like it when people try to make it seem like I must focus on someone else because they don't want her to get, the to do justice is deserved. I mean, it's just a matter of karma coming back on her. There's nothing you can do about that. She's got karma coming her way. Then, so I'm going to report on it until she goes to prison. I said that. Then, but am I going to report on others? Yes, in due time. I sure will. I sure will. So if you guys have people you want me to report and research on, always feel free to email me at LadyLuckClubLLC@yahoo.com. All right, let's get to it. Video dropped the other day from WGN that, she continues to do dumb things. So now the FBI is even more paying attention now that she's lost. And we bless God for it. Let's get to it.
Well, there is new evidence the FBI isn't allowing Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's dramatic defeat at the ballot box from slowing their corruption investigation.
WGN Investigates has obtained copies of new subpoenas that show the investigation is widening. Ben Bradley has more.
We've obtained a copy of the subpoena, which is dated Election Day and was hand-delivered by FBI agents to Dolton Village officials late Thursday. It targets a development in Dolton that we've previously reported on.
I'm happy to announce that these two Black African-American business owners, y'all give it up for them, business owners, yeah, Tiffany and Patrick, they're about to put up an upscale, sit-down food restaurant.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appeared to back the development, attending a groundbreaking in 2023. But when the 5-story restaurant and entertainment venue was built, its owner says Henyard tried to tank the project.
She has just short lives because she's not doing her job.
Tiffany Kamara told WGN Investigates Henyard's boyfriend previously owned the land and she thinks regretted selling it once he saw the building complete and the project's potential. What do you think the delays were all about?
Just because he graded, don't nobody care.
They wanted to take over the building.
It took a lawsuit and a judge's order to get the Henyard administration to finally issue a needed liquor license in January. Now, 9 months after the FBI first served wide-ranging subpoenas on both South suburban governments Henyard runs, FBI agents went back to Village Hall. Their newest subpoena focuses solely on the restaurant and entertainment venue development. It demands inspection, code enforcement, and licensing records, and specifically seeks communication between Village of Dolton personnel, including Henyard's boyfriend, Kamal Woods.
I want some positive press for a change. You guys have told me up for 4 years.
You got it coming.
You guys help with that. And that's why my town is all this activity going on now.
Oh, no.
Hours before 88% of Dolton voters rejected her, the defiant mayor blamed everyone but herself for her political problems.
My residents do love me, despite fake news, not showing the good that I do in the community, because I do a ton of good. But y'all just painted me as bad news for 4 years.
We shouldn't have to sue the village to renew our license or to get a license.
Oh
that should never happen in any village.
It nearly bankrupted you.
And yes, it has. It really has. And we're still here. We're trying to make it happen. But yes, it really has.
Henyard has not been charged with wrongdoing. Her attorney did not respond to a request for comment on this new subpoena. Neither did her boyfriend's attorney. But he previously told me that claims against his client are a result of the heated political environment in Dolton. Ben Bradley, W.
So here's my thing. She doesn't care that, these lawsuits and stuff are coming down the pipeline. She doesn't care about how all this stuff makes her feel or makes anyone else feel. She doesn't care about how this makes her look. She didn't care about looking like a jackass. So why should we get upset about it? Why should the media stop reporting on this stuff the problem she's causing and creating? All because she's jealous? All because she doesn't want another Black couple to actually thrive and do well? Oh no, Kamal regretted selling something because he saw the end product. If that be the case, if we could all see the end product of something, then most people wouldn't sell or do anything because they want to be able to enjoy the fruits of someone else's labor. Kamal didn't put any work into that. He didn't help getting that building up. He sold the property. That's it. It was no longer his. And him and Super Stupid need to learn how to get the hell over things and grow up. Once he sold it, it became the property of the other Tiffany and her husband. And they turned something that was barren and empty into a beautiful restaurant. And they want to come back and try to reap the benefits of all their hard work and labor. No. Super Stupid and Kamal can kick rocks and go to hell, along with his inflamed hemorrhoids. You and your inflammation can go to hell. Y'all is about as dumb as it gets, like a box of rocks. No one cares how you feel, Kamal. No one cares. All right. So here is the subpoena. And listen, I'm going to go make sure you guys can see this. Make sure you all can see this. This is the new subpoena that was served on February 25th, 25. Ironically, the day of the election. Yay. Yep. Just to show her how much no one cares about her feelings, because we don't. Yeah. This is what you have to look forward to. And I want to go through this because I did in my previous video. And like I said, I hate that it was, a lot of issues with the noise and everything. So, we're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this right. That's how I believe it should be done, the right way. So let's see. Come on. What's going on? Come on. Okay. I want to make sure you guys, I hope you all can see this. I don't know what's wrong with the view on this. 1 second. I need to make sure you guys, I hope you all can see this. All right. So as you can see, it says here, you're commanded to appear in the U.S. District Court at this time, date, and place shown below to testify before the court's grand jury. And it tells them where to arrive and the place, date, and time will be March 17th, 2025, 9:30 a.m. You must also bring with you the following documents: electronically stored information or objects. Then they have the proof of service. So that's basically a proof that the document, itself, the subpoena, was served to the party. I'm wondering if that's why she went and hid somewhere. Where she went off to and hid, as opposed to going to her little so-called shingding after taking that shellacking of a meeting in the primaries. I'm wondering if this is why she was hiding, because no one's ever known her to shy away from a party. Yeah, you lost like hell, but I mean, seriously, do you shy away from a party though? Because it's kind of odd how you nor your whole slate were at that party that you had people show up at. Did you even apologize to the people that were actually there? Super Stupid. Did you actually give these people an apology you owe them for having them sit there at that event knowing you were not going to come? And this to me would seem like more of a reasonable justification as to why she wouldn't show up, not wanting to get an FBI subpoena, more so than just the embarrassment of losing. Could be both. I think the FBI subpoena thing will probably be a little bit more stinging. To have a party you've already lost, and then next thing you know, the feds walk in and they're serving you another subpoena to add on top of the fact that you lost like hell. I think this did. I just think this took the cake. This is it. Yep, I'm gonna say that. All right. So as you can see, the subpoena attachment, Village of Dolton, custodian of records for the time period January 1, 2014 through present. Please provide the following regarding property index numbers. And you guys can see the numbers here, but for the sake of brevity and everything, I don't want to I'm trying to find a way to kind of zoom in a little bit. Is it if it's gonna let me? No, it's not. It's not gonna let me do it. Okay, so you guys can see the village. Hold on. There's got to be a way for me to make this a little bit bigger. Hopefully you all can see this though. All right. Village of Dolton inspection fee schedule. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. When it says the subject property, that subject property is 15022 Lincoln Avenue, Dolton, Illinois, 60419. That is the subject property here. Okay. So anything pertaining to this property, 15022 Lincoln Avenue. The Village of Dolton inspection fee schedule. So any inspections that were done, fees and schedules of payment rates and anything that it would cost to get an inspection done, they want all of that. They want the records of fees paid for inspections performed and ticketed violations and citations, including payee and payor, inspector name and date. Now, mind you all, they're going back to January 1, 2014 for a reason. If Jamal, whatever, inflamed steroids, decided to sell this property, now the question comes up, under what circumstances he acquired it? And why? Why did he buy it? I highly doubt he had that property in his possession since 2014, but that brings a lot of questions about why all of a sudden now you sell it and then you want it back after they revitalized it and turned it into a 3-level restaurant of some sort. Now you want it back? But it's my understanding there was some shady things going on with that property itself before it was sold to the owners of the St. Patrick's restaurant. So they want to go back to see exactly what's happened and what has occurred and what's transpired with this actual property itself. If they receive any ticketed violations or citations, including the payee and payor, inspector name and date, copies of citations issued, including documentation of the capture code violations that were the basis for the citations, including the identification of the inspector and citation recipient, correspondence, including emails, phone calls, text messages, and any other means of communications between property owners and tenants. So at any time, if it was maybe leased out or rented out to a tenant, they want all the tenants' information as well. Because normally they wouldn't ask for this type of detailed info going back 10 years unless they weren't trying to see if there's a possible enterprise of some sort happening. Okay. Maybe this address, this subject property was the center of some sort of a flow of things occurring that would be considered criminal. Maybe a flow of drugs or paraphernalia or things that shouldn't be in the US or should not be sold or reproduced. Maybe it was like a hub, where certain products came in and out. Never know. That's the whole purpose of them trying to get all of this information. And going back 10 years is astounding. Okay, they didn't even mention 10 years on the previous subpoena that they served. They want 10 years worth here. So we'll go over the other subpoena as well. So they want these all means, any other means of communication between property owners and tenants and Village of Dolton personnel, to include but not limited to communications with Amardeep Singh Sangha and Jatinder K. Sangha, Key Urban Concepts Incorporated. Come on, Woods, because his inflammation keeps getting him in trouble. And Tech Investment Group, LLC. There you go. Now, Tech Investment Group is the investment group that the St. Patrick's restaurant falls under. And I have a court docket on that. It's also, that court document That docket includes the hearing to which Super Stupid was held in direct criminal contempt of court. Oh, yeah. So we're going to look at the docket. I don't have all of the court documents like I want because I'm still trying to get them. I really want to see what the document is as far as the direct criminal contempt of court. I would love to see that full filing of that. But I'm still looking for it, y'all. I'm still looking for it. All right. Documentation of complaints lodged against the subject property, records maintained by the Village of Dolton regarding current and past owners of the subject property, records of permit applications and issuance for current and past owners and tenants, documentation of negative or derogatory findings from inspections of the subject property, records of inspections of the property that were executed based upon the following: inspections due to transfer of ownership or title, inspections necessary for any past or ongoing litigation, inspections due to building and occupancy permit requests, inspections initiated by complaints made by citizens or government entities, inspections performed on an annual or biannual or any other inspections mandated by law, and last but not least, employment records for all code inspectors during the given period. Going back to January 1 of 2014. They want to know all who were employed as inspectors, code inspectors, going back to January 1 of 2014. Because they want to see if the inspector may have gotten paid a little pocket change or two to hear and look away from half the stuff. Maybe there were some documented, issues, but, you go and give a code inspector, few $1,000s to go away. I'm sure they probably would turn their nose around and be like, you know what? I didn't even see that. I did not see that big ass roach in the corner. I didn't see that big ass roach in the corner. And if I did, they said they would kill it and clean it up. All that hush money to get them to go away. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Let's go to the next page here. And as you can see, here's the letter from the U.S. Department of Justice. Y'all, the Department of Justice is not playing. All right, they're not playing. And they have a new director over at the FBI now. Things are about to get real for you, girl. Yeah, not playing around. They want this matter to be resolved and to go through the proper channel to the court of law. Oh, yes, they do. I, for one, want that to happen. And this is the subpoena Duces Tecum. So basically, this letter is saying, in lieu of you coming in to testify, you can give us certified copies of those documents that we're asking for. But listen, you don't get to half-ass do that, Super Stupid. No, you do not. Sit here and pretend like you don't understand words and definitions if you don't want to. If you want to. They'll have your ass come in and testify either way to whatever you do not give them as a certified copy of the documents that they want. So for all the documents you can't provide, they may have you come in and testify to that. So it would not be to your benefit to pretend like you don't know how to get stuff. You can run your damn mouth. Better figure out a way to get these documentation over to them, or you're going to have to testify. You and Jamal, and his inflamed steroid. Yeah, the inflammation of the hemorrhoid thing. That's a underlying joke from his slap suit, where he alleged that, inflammatory comments were made, and I just clowned him on the whole inflammatory thing. And that's why we're here with this whole wild bile and doodles thing. Because he just talking about how statements and comments inflamed him up. And I'm like, that's just one hell of a flare up. Look at that video. That's how we got here. That's why I'm clowning on his ass about inflammation. Like, dude, come on, man. Nobody inflamed your dumb ass. You just wanted to have a fight that day. Get out of here. So here's the declaration certifying records of regularly conducted activities. So basically, they have to have the record certified. All the copies need to be certified copies. So I believe that they're going to have to take them somewhere to get stamped, just to certify it. And then this document should go with it to make sure that it is certified to the DOJ. And basically, that certification also confirms that they're providing this information under the penalty of perjury to the best of their knowledge, right? So I personally would rather them be deposed. I mean, because it's too easy for these two to continue to do clown shit and have documents forged or anything like that. I don't put that past them. So I would rather they have to testify under oath. That's just me personally. But, at some point, they'll probably be forced to do it either way. All right, moving on. Now, here is the case docket. Yep. Here's the case docket. Case number 2024 C as in cat, H as in hat, 09044. This is Tac Group Investments LLC. Okay. This is a mandamus they filed to the court, basically saying, can you order this heifer to do her job and to sign the license permit for the liquor license permits at that. Let's start at the bottom here. You guys can see the progression. You got to start at the bottom and then go up to see how the case has progressed and what's been filed and the dates that it's been filed. So, of course, the case was initiated on 9/26/24. They filed a petition for a mandamus with exhibits filed to the Chancery Division. There was a cover sheet provided for those exhibits. That should be. That's just part of court rules on how certain documents should be filed and submitted to the court. So 9/27, they filed the motion to appoint special process server. So basically, the petition itself and the notice that has been filed to the court had to be served to the other party. I don't know if they took the actual, document through the process server, but either way, that doesn't make it go away. I don't understand why these two clowns and thunkheads can't figure that out. Just because you don't accept, something from a process server doesn't mean that the case just closes. That's not how that works. The court will make a decision to just proceed without you, since you choose to not participate in a very legal process where you could defend yourself. But because you're an idiot, then they just be like, you know what, forget this. We'll just keep going without her. Because you choosing to not accept, documents being served to you does not make the case go away. It just doesn't. I don't know who told you that, but it doesn't. And here's how. You can look at this docket and tell that's not how it works. All right, so the appoint special deputy allowed, summons issued and returnable. You guys see the events here, and you're looking at the dates here. 9/27, the appointment special deputy allowed. 10/1, summons issued and returnable. 10/15, appearance filed, fee paid. So obviously someone had an attorney to come on to the case, and they filed their appearance. 10/15, waiver filed, reduced government fee form. So apparently it's super stupid's attorney. I don't know why she didn't have to pay out of her own pocket for her attorney for doing something so dumb that led to her having to be held in contempt of court to do. But nope. Apparently that got paid by tax dollars. Why did the trustees pay that attorney? I don't know. I would not have paid it. Solomon should be broke as hell, along with Bo Brindley. I wouldn't pay neither one of them. They can override her veto. I wouldn't pay that. But you all can see that here. Reduced government fee form. The waiver filed. 10/18, notice of filing filed. 10/18, affidavit of special process server. An affidavit of service. That's basically saying, hey, we were able to get this document served to the other party, and we confirm and attest that it was done. So that affidavit of the process server is filed with the court. 12/3, a motion was filed. Plaintiff's motion for leave to file first amended complaint. And then there was on 12/10, amend complaint or petition that was allowed. The judge allowed an amendment to the complaint or the petition. 1210. Then the case set on status call. And then, of course, a notice of filing filed with the amended petition filed on 1211. First amended complaint for mandamus and intentional interference with contractual relations. On 1220, order plaintiff, defendant, or attorney to appear allowed. And then, of course, the case set on pretrial calendar. In person. That was an in-person hearing. On 1230, summons issued and returnable. On 17, appearance filed, fee paid. I don't know who else had to file an appearance, but whatever. 17, exhibits filed again, fee exempt cover sheet. There was another notice of filing filed, agreed, order entered, comply allowed, case set on status call, produce other exhibits and documents was allowed. So there were additional exhibits that they wanted to introduce to the case, or documentation or records or whatever was, however it was termed with the court. It would be easy if I had like a court transcript or I had the ability to actually see all these court documents, but I don't. So I'm just kind of going based on what the event is. But there were some more exhibits filed and permitted to the court. And then, of course, there was a motion filed on 116. Motion to enforce the settlement agreement and for sanctions. This is where it gets interesting, people. So 121, strike from the call allowed. Also, a continuance was granted. Why? I don't understand. When there was a motion to enforce settlement agreement and for sanctions, it was because Super Stupid failed to abide by the agreement, and due to that, should have been sanctioned. Whether it be by paying attorney's fees or held in contempt, however, there should be some sanctions on that. I mean, how does the court expect people to, tighten up if there's no penalty here? Especially when there's a habitual disregard of the agreement and the orders. She has no reason to not simply sign a damn license. She doesn't get to patrol alcohol stores and restaurants that serve alcohol. Not when Kamal has a whole restaurant or had one where he got to serve alcohol. You see the hypocrisy in all of this? People who sit here and try to play sides with Super Stupid. They conveniently forget other facts that make them look just as hypocritical as she is. You're a clown. Kamal Jamal had his own little restaurant and alcohol was served there. And I can guarantee you, his liquor license was signed. Plus, this is not prohibition. For you to sit here and to say, well, we don't want liquor stores in our neighborhood and all this other stuff. Think about this. That goes to show what it means for the people that's buying all this alcohol and actually increasing revenue into your community. Until other things come along, you don't get to hinder with a business operating. That's the bottom line to the court. This business has the right to operate. Everything is in order when it comes to getting the licenses and the permit. They did everything based on the local ordinance and state statutes to get this license permit signed. You don't get to interfere with that because you're trying to fake some morality and some high road when her dumbass boyfriend, Jamal, had a restaurant where he got to serve alcohol in his place. So for those who still try to kiss Super Stupid's ass and just give her a pass on everything, think about that. Don't be hypocritical to that. And the court doesn't buy that shit. They don't care about what you think. They care about, are you following the law? That's not following the law by saying, I'm not going to sign a liquor license permit when part of her job description as a mayor is to do just that. You can take that high morality thing up somewhere else, but you can't take it to the court of law. That's why she should not be enabled on any level when it comes to this stuff. Because you got dumb goons that are sitting here trying to support this stuff. And guess what happens in court? Nowhere near what you think it should. Because the courts don't care about all of it. They just care about why aren't you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Sign the liquor license and keep it moving. That's it. Not your feelings, not your personal thoughts. Nobody cares. Sign the liquor license and keep living. That's all the judges are worried and concerned about. Are you following the law? Nope. Okay. Then guess what? Sanctions it is. She was granted another continuance. Then there was a motion filed on 121 for the entry of a default judgment to enforce this agreement that she kept ignoring because some reason people keep telling her she's doing the right thing by not signing a liquor permit that she still signed for Kamal to have at his restaurant. Yeah, like nobody will put that 2 and 2 together. I wish these dumb idiots would stop sitting here giving her encouragement. Just shut the hell up. You're no use to humanity. You're not helping anyone. Yeah, she's right about that. I'm sorry, how much more hypocritical are you going to get again? Yeah, okay, kick rocks. Kick rocks. That hypocrisy is staggering. So another continuance was filed on 122 along with the comply. 124, clerk status. Okay. Order for turnover of funds allowed on 124. So apparently she was sanctioned. Got to pay the money. File appearance or jury demand, answer or plead allowed on the 124. Also a set briefing schedule allowed, motion for sanctions. So when you motioning for sanctions and whatnot, you have a hearing for it. The other party has to come in and say why they don't believe they should be sanctioned, blah, blah, blah. And then the judge hears both sides. Don't know if this was a jury trial or if it's going to be a bench trial or not. I'm not seeing where a jury trial, jury demand, file appearance or jury demand, answer or plea. Okay. So there was a jury demand, but it's sad that it hadn't even get to that point because it should be a matter of here's the order, follow it, the end. But because they're not following it, and she's trying to sit here and be hypocritical about some liquor license with one person, but don't say anything about Kamal having a liquor license for his dumb nonsense restaurant or bar, whatever the hell he had, that Rock Island nonsense. Yeah, no, that goes over her head though somehow in court, because she's a hypocrite. And narcissists don't care about being hypocritical. They don't care about that. This is why people should not sit here and just run to agree with her on dumb things. Because you're not looking at it from both sides of your damn selves. Yep. No, you're not. At least read. So there was a motion for sanctions on 124. Held in contempt of court. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Held in contempt of court allowed on 124-25. Oh, because she's a moron. Who said they didn't want her to go to jail because she got a daughter? Child, please. You know how many parents are in jail and in prison? Why in the hell would we sit? No, she's going to jail. I don't care. She doesn't care about her child. She wouldn't be doing all this dumb stuff if she did. And yet still, she didn't say anything about Kamal having his liquor license to run whatever he got going on with that damn bar and grill or whatever it is you call it. Yeah, no. That hypocrisy is staggering. File appearance or jury demand, answer a plead allowed again on January 31. She was held in contempt of court. You all can see that here in the case docket. Case set on status call. See, when you see the progression of this nonsense that should have ended a whole month ago, it's hard to sit here and say, yeah, we're going to get her some level of credit on anything. She's bringing this stuff on herself. 131, amended order or decree allowed. And this is from the 124-25 order. And then another motion filed on 213. Motion for extension of time to file response. So they needed an extension to file a response to the motion for the sanctions. Okay. At this point, on the same day, she was already charged with, originally it was indirect criminal contempt of court. The judge changed it to direct criminal contempt of court because the defiance of the order of the court, when the judge asked, if you're going to sign the permits right now, she's sitting here dodging the question, thinking she runs the court, was done in the presence of the judge. So that had to be changed to direct criminal contempt of court. When I first spoke on that, that's the first thing I said. I don't understand why it's indirect if she did this in front of the judge when the judge has stated to sign these dang on liquor licenses. Are you going to sign them? Yes or no? There was no room for an answer in between. She went off on a tangent, spoke the language of the Ewok, and the judge was like, I am holding you in direct criminal contempt of court. Now come sign these liquor licenses. Then she did it, and it was only 2 out of 3. And then, of course, Solomon's incompetent ass comes in, tries to save the day, talking about, well, it was something with the naming of it. Why wasn't that addressed last year, Solomon? That judge is not stupid. So for you to say what you said in video, on national television, in the news, that judge is going to see that and say, how dare you say that the public needs to understand it was about a name or whatever. But you didn't tell the court about this last month. So you had no excuse. That could have been information you could have sent to the court. Why did you withhold that information and then wait until after she's now being charged with direct criminal contempt of court to want to make it seem like there was a valid reason? She didn't even say that in court. But you go out there on national television and you give something totally different than your own client. Make it make sense, Solomon. So while he's still incompetent, Super Stupid is still dumb, and no one believes either of their BS, and they both should be sanctioned. This is what happens when the court allows this to go on for so long without penalty. The average person would not be able to get away with half of this stuff without being sanctioned or in jail. I don't know what makes her any special. She's been voted out. She's not going to be mayor or supervisor anymore. No one's going to elect you for anything. And we're all waiting on the FBI to come and collect your ass. That's it. I don't feel bad about that. Look at what she's done. She don't feel bad about none of this. Let that grown woman suffer the consequences of her actions. She's grown. She is grown. So, amend order or decree allow. Okay. Motion filed. Motion for extension of the time to file response to the motion for sanctions. So they have the right to respond to that. And then there was the notice of the motion filed. Notice of filing of a response or answer has been filed 219. Extended time allowed on 220. Let's see, on 219. Answer, response, and reply was submitted. Henry's response to plaintiff's first amended complaint. And then they also have, an option to come to court on the motion for sanctions and state why they should not be sanctioned. But she was held in direct criminal contempt of court. So it's going to be really hard to say where, even though she was held in direct criminal contempt of court, here's why I shouldn't be sanctioned, though. No, that should work hand in hand. And in a case, of course, the case was set on status call. Next hearing coming up is March 7th. Yay! Open call, Judicial Officer Haran Cecilia A. Calendar 9. I guess is the courtroom 2008 of the Richard J. Daley Center at 9:30 a.m. So she's got court coming up March 7th, 9:30 a.m. with Judge Haran in courtroom 2008. So you guys can tune in on that and check it out. This is going to be addressing the amended complaint as well as her motion for sanction and the direct criminal contempt of court. I hope all of that gets addressed in one hearing. They should not get an extension. She's not doing shit else. So let's get done with all this stuff so they can move on and bring some resolution to this matter. I mean, good grief. Okay. Okay, I just wanted to show you all what I was able to find regarding the tech group regarding the complaint for the Mandamus. So I was able to find this complaint here. And forgive me for it not being a little bigger. Hopefully you all can see that. But I have been looking for the full docket of this case, and it is not easy to come across. And you would think court documents that's made available to the public should be free, right? I mean, I'm just saying. But too many websites want you to pay for it. So this is just one that I was able to see for free. Because, I mean, yeah, I ain't got no money to sit here and pay for all this stuff. This is case number 2024. C as in cat, H as in hat, 09044. Tech Group Investments LLC versus Tiffany A. Henyard in her capacity as Mayor and Liquor Control Commissioner. Complaint from Mandamus. Comes now Tech Group Investments by its attorneys, Collins, Bargione, and Vukovic. Enforce complaint for mandamus pursuant to 735 ILCS 5/14-101, except Al of the Illinois Code of Civil Procedure states as follows. TAC is an Illinois limited liability company. I guess established in 2020. Tax manager is Tiffany Camera. Camera is a resident of Linwood, Illinois. Tax principal place of business is 126 East Sibley Boulevard in Dolton. The business of TAC is to own, lease, and develop real estate in Dolton and to operate a retail liquor store. So here's the thing. She has the right to have a business that just so happens to deal with liquor. You don't have to like it. No one cares. It's still a business. And there are no federal laws that say that she could not operate a business that deals with liquor. This is not prohibition. Get the hell over it. This is not the time when dealing with the law to try to sit here and say, oh, we're operating on morality here. When are you going to start operating on legality here? That's cute and all, especially when you're being hypocritical because your boyfriend has a liquor license for his little nasty ass establishment. But never mind that. You want to come to court, all of a sudden take some sort of moral high ground, though, when it comes to everybody else but him. Find out how that works. No, this is about operating a business. And her job is to simply sign the damn license and keep living and get the hell on somewhere. TAC is the owner of certain real estate located at 15022 Lincoln Avenue in Dolton, Illinois, which consists of a real property and a state-of-the-art entertainment structure, which is near completion. You guys, this was filed back on 9/26/24. Now it's fully completed. We all know that, but this is just the mandamus that was filed for the case to try to get the liquor license signed. Sad they had to do all of this. TAC acquired the real estate without the structure in 2022 for $200,000 from Kamal Woods. Look at this. So they paid Kamal Woods, Jamal, $200,000 in 2022 for the real estate, basically for the property, whatever was there. I don't know if that's the animal hospital that everyone keeps referring to. Maybe it was at animal hospital, but they had the document they bought. They have the documents that they bought that real estate, that property or whatever was there for $200,000 from Kamal Woods. He got $200K out of this. Get the hell on somewhere and go sit down, Jamal. You and your inflammation. Get the hell out of here. Now you want to be mad because it looks good. It's a multi-million dollar building and all this stuff. Yeah. But it's their multi-million-dollar property, not yours. You have nothing to do with that anymore. You sold it. You go. Now, I'm sure if you would have proposed the idea to be added on as a business partner or an investor, maybe you could have, taken a little bit less up front, but reinvested it. Like, listen, I'll take $100K, the other $100K, you guys take that and reinvest it, and then I just want a percentage of it. As you make money, and get this business up and running. So I want to have some level of interest in the company. Once it's complete and the establishment is open and generating revenue, I would like to have some sort of stake in this, and do it the right way. Because stuff like that happens all the time. People invest in the other companies and they get a percentage of whatever the revenue is or the profit is. You could have just did that. Now you want to sit here and try to take the whole thing back or just get mad and retaliate like a fucking child. You're a grown man that's about to find out the power and the might of the FBI. They're finna show you how little and insignificant you are in the grand scheme of life. But now they finna come in with a hammer on your head, bro. You got it coming. The last thing you should want to do is sit here and trip out over $200,000. You might want to go sit down somewhere, because the issues you got coming your way from the FBI is about to get real for you. You'll be sitting with wishing, God, I wish it was only about $200,000. I wouldn't even worry about that money. Kamal Woods reluctantly sold the real estate to TAC, but was forced to close on the transaction because of the contract he signed. Because that's what happens. You want to make a grown man decision, then you make some grown man decisions moving forward and sign the dang on thing and keep it living. Keep it moving. Go keep living. On information and belief, Kamal Woods is the significant other of defendant Henyard and is believed to have substantial influence over her decisions and actions made in her capacity as mayor of Dolton and as liquor commissioner for Dolton. I hope we all heard that. Yeah. Kamal Jamal, inflammation, wild bowel, and doo-doo stains, is the significant other of defendant Henyard and is believed to have substantial influence over her decisions and actions made in her capacity as mayor of Dolton and as liquor commissioner for Dolton. Basically, he says bark, she says woof woof. He says jump, she says how high. Influence. In the spring of 2024, TAC applied for a retail liquor license in order to operate a new retail liquor store on the ground floor of 15022 Lincoln Avenue in Dolton, Illinois. And that is known throughout the rest of the document as real estate. So whenever you see real estate, it is referring to that address. TAC is in the process of developing the real estate into a modern 5-story structure plus roof deck from which the liquor store will operate on the first floor of the real estate. Other floors will have restaurants, a bar, an event space, and an office and or luxury living space at which performers can stay while working at the real estate, and a roof deck. The area in the building from which the retail liquor store will operate is complete. And so it's just kind of going through what's been done to the building so far. What was left, you guys, and I'm trying my best to scroll as slow as I can get it so that you all can see this information and read it for yourselves. Check it out. So as you see, number 10, number 11 speaks to the area in the building from which the retail liquor store will operate is complete. Drywall, coolers, all kinds of good construction stuff. Number 12, the remainder of the development is nearly complete. And it's just saying what was left over. Number 13, TAC has an existing retail liquor license for the liquor store called Emporium Beverage Depot, located at 126-130 Sibley Boulevard, Dolton, Illinois. TAC has agreed to terms to sell that retail liquor store business to a third-party entity called Dolton LLC. So when we looked at the FBI subpoena, one of the things that it asked for is, any connections to any third-party entities that might be related to the 15022 Lincoln Avenue. And not saying they're going to look at that particular address, but because it was sold by TAC Investments to this third party, they might look at that information as well. Hopefully it's on the up and up. That's all I can say. I don't take these owners to be some, some foul people or anything like they would do anything illegal. But just to the owners, please know that the FBI might just ask about it. And if so, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem with the corporation and making sure that you rather they know everything up front than for them to have to find out the hard way. Let me just put it like that. So make sure you clear that with the FBI. Let's see. Dolton LLC's and Tax Group Investment LLC's business licenses have been approved by the Village of Dolton, Exhibit 4. So there were exhibits attached to this that you guys saw in the court docket that I went over with the exhibits filed that was connected to the petition for the mandamus. Number 14, they're just talking about Dum Dum who wants gum gum. She is the liquor control commissioner. She has the sole authority to sign authorizations in order to issue retail liquor licenses in Dolton and to transfer such licenses. A retail liquor license means a license issued by the liquor control commissioner to sell alcoholic liquor at retail. Cook County Liquor Control Act, Section 6-2, in its definitions here, gives you kind of an overview of that. Plaintiff has complied with the process and procedures to obtain a retail liquor license as set forth in Section 6-8 of that act. So if you go to the Liquor Control Act, look at Section 6-2 and Section 6-8 to get an understanding of what's being referenced in this document. So you got to read that and then come back and then you understand how the rest of it flows in with it. So basically, the plaintiffs, being TAC Investment, have been in compliance based on this Liquor Control Act that determines how you get a liquor license signed in this, I'm assuming within the local municipality or local government, and in accordance with ordinances and state statutes. So I would encourage you all to go and check that out, look at that act, and to kind of get some clarity on this. That way people can stop running around here talking about all these liquor stores. Tiffany didn't open up these liquor stores. It's not for her to open or close them. It's just for her to sign the licenses if they're compliant. That's it. She doesn't get to dictate anything else. Not at all. No objection has been raised concerning the license application. There you go. So for Matt Solomon to go out and do an interview talking about, well, it's important for the people to understand that, the name was an issue and something. You didn't raise any objection on the license application back on 9/26 of 2024. See, Solomon, this is why I keep calling you incompetent. This is why. There were no objection raised concerning the license application. And don't you think if there were an issue with the naming or something wrong with the application itself, you would have raised an objection to it back on 9/26 of 24? Wouldn't you have gone back and read this petition and said, you know what, there was an error made. There should have been an objection raised regarding the license application, and here's why. This is why I don't buy Solomon's bullshit. Because look what this document says. This is a court document. This is what was filed to the court. No objection has been raised concerning the license application. And yet he turns around the day that super stupid is held in contempt of court. Direct criminal contempt of court. Now it's important for us to know something. No, it was not. Because you failed to raise that objection with the license applications last year. So you're still incompetent, Solomon. And you need to read these court documents. It's a cop-out. Just a damn cop-out. All right, number 15. You guys see there, real estate is the most significant real estate in Dolton. Some more information on that. I'm going slow because I want you all to go back and read this on your own. Number 16, Henya was initially in favor of the development for political purposes, asserted that the development of the real estate was an accomplishment of her tenure as mayor because it's all about her. She was happy with it until she didn't get what she wanted. Then she threw a tantrum, nanny boo-boo, cried, and then decided to throw an epic tantrum by not signing the liquor license. The end. Oh, she's such a fucking brat. God. Oh man. She even went out. You guys are seeing her in the videos, doing the groundbreaking. She took pictures of it, and they have that exhibit. On January 18, 2023, plaintiff received the communication from the Housing and Building Director, which stated all licenses have been approved. Exhibit 2 also nullifies that nonsense from Solomon. Yeah, it seems here, based on communication now, all licenses have been approved. So what is it you're saying, Solomon, that it's important for people to know? You raised no objection, and there's an email from the Housing and Building Director that said that all licenses have been approved. What's your issue again, and what we need to know again? What the hell we need to know? Okay, number 17. Now he has arbitrarily decided to obstruct the development of the real estate by preventing the opening of the retail liquor store at the real estate, which is a central part of the development. Specifically, Henry refuses to execute authorizations for a retail liquor license and transfer of the separate license to Herms Dolton LLC. So she's preventing the license to be signed over to Herms Dolton for the other address. I think that was the 126-130 Sibley, right? They're going to get that because now the owners want to be able to operate this 15022 Lincoln Avenue, the St. Patrick's restaurant. She's trying to prevent both. So now you're hurting two families at one time. You're an Ewok, super stupid. You're a soulless Ewok from hell. On information and belief, the refusal to execute the authorizations for a license for the real estate and to transfer the other license are bad faith actions, because they are. Because she's doing things out of spite, which are not for the benefit of Dolton, but are being done to financially harm plaintiff, delay the development of the real estate, and attempt to disrupt financing the plaintiff's project or force plaintiff to sell the real estate to Mr. Woods or to a third party for Woods' benefit, or because Henry believes plaintiff is politically hostile to her. No one owes you any allegiance, super stupid. You are a goon, and that is why you have been vehemently rejected by both Thornton and the village of Dolton. Everyone said to you very loud and astoundingly, please kick rocks and get the hell on somewhere. No one wants you. You've been denied. Oh, Lord. So she basically did all of this because super stupid is still somehow thinking that Kamal is hot shit with his inflammation and wanted, to somehow get the property back over to him, but he chose to sell it. No one put a gun to his head. And then he chose to sell it for $200,000. But the moment I guess he realized, oh, this is about to be something, and it's going to be worth a lot more money than what I sold it for, even though he chose to sell it for that amount. Now he want to try to get it back. That's not how it works. Neither you or super stupid have the brain God gave a cockroach. Just disgustingly dumb. Complaint is being filed to obtain. This complaint is being filed to obtain an order compelling Henry to execute authorizations for the new retail liquor license, which is the subject of an application submitted by TAG to compel the approval of a transfer of a separate retail liquor license held by TAG to a third-party entity called Herms Dolton. Basically, they're filing this petition for a mandamus to get an order of mandamus to just get them to follow the law and to follow the agreement, and for her to do the job that she has as the mayor and liquor license commissioner. Do your job. Just do your job and get the hell on. That's it. Applications to approve business licenses for the new store at the real estate and to transfer the license for the liquor store were submitted to the Dolton Liquor Commission in May of 2024. Required fees have been paid. All required paperwork was submitted and in fact supplemented at the request of the Liquor Commission of Dolton Exhibit 3. Licenses for the new liquor store at the real estate and transfer of the liquor store license were approved by the Village Board of Dolton on July 1924 on information and belief, Exhibit 4. On information and belief, the village board approved the transfer of the liquor license to Dolton LLC. Therefore, the only remaining act to be performed by the Liquor Commission is the execution of the authorization for the new retail license and the execution of the approval for the transfer of the license. These are not discretionary decisions. 25 TAC was informed by Keith Freeman that the Village Board of Dolton Liquor Commission for Dolton has already approved the licenses at issue for TAC and Herms Dolton LLC, and therefore there is no discretionary decision for Hinyard to make regarding the licenses. Despite the approval by the Village Board, Hinyard fails to execute an authorization or take any action. Complaint for Mandamus seeks in order to compel a public officer to perform an official non-discretionary act that a plaintiff is entitled to have performed and that the public officer has failed to perform. Number 27 is the crux of this entire document and why it had to be filed. This complaint for Mandamus seeks in order to compel a public officer to do their damn job. They don't have the discretion not to do it. They have no reason not to do it. There's no justification they can provide at this point. Everything is in order according to applicable laws and ordinances and state statutes. No reason for her to not do this. She's just being an idiot. And no one cares. No one cares about her thought on liquor stores and all this blah, blah, blah. Not when Kamal has a liquor license as well for his restaurant. No one gives two shits what she thinks about anything else. No one. Except her goons. Because they keep parroting this dumb nonsense about liquor stores popping up everywhere. Who gives a damn? Are you all going to pay those people's mortgages and rent? No, you say? Okay, so you might not want to make it difficult for them to pay their bills. At some point, people need to go after all these old weird-ass people on YouTube trying to sit here and give defenses to this nonsense without really knowing laws or facts or reading court documents or anything else. Because she's taking all of that and then using it for fuel to still violate laws. Don't care about your morality in this. She was supposed to sign the licenses. That's all she's supposed to do by law. Keep it moving and sign it. It's absolutely pathetic. You put yourselves in these situations trying to take up for it, and you get mad when it bounces back and somehow bites you in the ass. Stop doing it. Simple as that. Execution of the approval for the liquor license is a ministerial act, and therefore Tiffany A. Hinyard, in her capacity as liquor commissioner for Dolton, should be ordered to execute the authorization and to deliver the executed documents to plaintiff. There is no adequate remedy at law, meaning we don't have any other options here. Wherefore, Plaintiff Tech Group Investments LLC respectfully requests that this court grant the relief sought and enter an order compelling Tiffany A. Hinyard to execute authorization for the retail liquor license for plaintiff and transfer of the license to Herms Dolton LLC. Woo, child. That was a lot. So, as you all can see, this is, she doesn't care about anything. She has to be compelled by court, and even then, she goes in there and says some dumb stuff, and then the judge has to hold her in contempt because, she's being a goon. And I don't know who keeps putting this nonsense in her ear that, this would be a good time for you to sit here and just be defiant on a court order or an agreement you made to sign something that you're legally required by law to sign. Yeah, because morals. This is not prohibition. It's just not. You don't like it? Don't care. But it should not stop someone from operating their business, even if it includes some sort of licensure of alcohol to be sold. It is what it is. Get over it. Main ones complaining about something like that, they're not going to pay your mortgage. Oh, no. They're not going to pay these business owners mortgages or bills, buy food for the kids, shoes, clothes. They're not going to take care of them. Oh, hell no. So they should just not complain about it. Yep. This was fun. This is why I enjoy reading some of these court documents, so that, Solomon can be debunked on so many levels. He didn't object to the application. He failed to even state what the issue was ahead of time. And all he does is delay and deny. He aids in this buffoonery of behavior of his client by delaying, documents being signed or responses being filed. It's ridiculous. And I wish the court would stop giving her all these chances and opportunities to still do dumb shit. Just stop. Hold her accountable. Because I know the average person would not have gotten these many chances to do this. Nope. Would not have. All right. Moving on. As you all can see, this is the full subpoena. Yes, it is. That was filed. I don't know where it's going. It takes forever. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I had to make sure I bring that back in. Not sure what was going on with that. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that now. I like to make the document bigger so you all can see the full thing, the full shebang. There we go. I'm insignificant in all of this. This is what's most important. All right. Okay. So you guys can see that this was the FBI subpoena that was served last year in 2024. They were ordered to testify before a grand jury on May 20th of 2024. I don't even recall reading a portion of this where they could give over documentation in lieu of testimony. I don't think I read anything like that, but So here's the first page. Produce certified copies of the following records in your possession. Now, I went over this, like I said in a previous video, but the audio and the visuals and everything was so bad, I didn't want to do a disservice and not showing this information again. And we went over the most recent subpoena that they served out as well, and part of that TAC Investments petition for Mandamus case, plus the full court docket. So this is just kind of a recap of the subpoena. They want all the records in your possession, custody, control pertaining to the following individuals, whether held jointly or severally as trustee or fiduciary, as well as custodian, executor, or guardian, as well as any other entity in which these individuals may have a financial interest. And they named Rosie Henyard, Tamika Henyard, and Kamal Woods. He's been under FBI investigation since the beginning. Okay. And you guys can see all of the documents that they're asking for here, which is the background records, including applications for employment, personnel files, credit checks, background investigations for the above named individuals, employment or payroll records, to include records disclosing the dates of employment, wages or commissions paid, direct deposits, election forms, ACH authorization forms, checks front and back used for any payments to the above named, records of time and attendance for the above named. Kamal not going to have a lot of time and attendance because he didn't even have a job description. No one knew what he did. What he did. I highly doubt they probably saw him in that building every day. But it's about to come bite you in the ass, inflamed hemorrhoid. I'm here for it. Disciplinary files for the above name. Yeah, he got fired because he got in a fight. So that's that. Records of work performed, including assignments, position title, responsibilities, contract modifications, proposals, and dates of employment, wage and tax statements, W-2 forms showing the above name, employees withholding allowance certificates, which is the W-4, and other exempt status documentation issued to the above name, U.S. information return, Form 1099, showing fees, commissions, and other payments issued to the above name. Request for taxpayer identification number, IRS Form W-9 for the above name. They want everything. Record showing the methods of payment for any and all remuneration and or reimbursement of expenses to include receipts, documentation, itemizing expenses, accounting of expenses, ACH authorization forms, and checks, front and back, used for any payments to the above name. All agreements or contracts with the above name. Invoices received from the above name. So they went out and they bought $30 worth of wings, and then they decided to invoice, Thornton Township for whatever for money to recover that $30. Yeah, they want that too. Because why the hell are you invoicing taxpayers again for stuff like that? Like, you'd be amazed at the stuff they'll go buy and try to invoice and claim as a reimbursement. You'd be amazed at that stuff. Description of services provided. Yeah, so what did you do all day, every day again? What's your job description again? Because job description is one of the things they ask for. Simply because most people don't know what Kamal did, Jamal. Yeah, they want to know your job description now. The FBI does. They've been wanting to know that going back to 2024. All retirement and savings plans, including pensions, annuities, profit sharing plans, IRAs, SEPs, savings incentive match plan for employees, which is called simple, and insurance contracts. Records should show the employee contributions, ballot accumulation, and loans drawn from those accounts. So if you got an IRA loan, you need to include the loan application, the loan terms, the repayment records, and records showing the dates, amount, and method of repayment, and copies of checks, front and back, and other instruments. Oh, they want everything. They want your whole life. It's going to be good. And if they can't provide the documentation, more than likely, they will have them come in and testify and ask questions. Because, see, here's the thing. Most times, the FBI is not going to ask you questions they already don't know the answers to, because that's how they operate. So if they're asking you a question, more than likely, they already know the answer. They're just trying to see what the hell you're going to say. I love it. I love it. All right. So this is another appearance to testify for May 20th, 2024 as well. And this would be for all of this documentation here. So you guys are seeing these requests to appear based on each set of documentation that's being requested. And here they're going back to January 1, 2021. So whatever documentation is missing that cannot be provided, they're going to want them to come in and testify to. Because them just saying, I don't have it, should not be enough. It just shouldn't be enough, FBI. It shouldn't be enough. So going back to January 1 of 2021, all municipal code and ordinances applicable during the given time period related to credit cards, purchases, vendor approvals, procurement, employment contracts, terminations, per diem, expense reimbursements, outside employment. Yeah, come on, because you had all these restaurants and car washes and all these other things, right? Yeah, to include any specific regulations for the police department. Because they were clocking in hundreds and hundreds of overtime hours. Hours that just defied logic that a human being could not do. Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, seriously, how do you work 300 some hours in a week? How does that go? Jesus Christ. Loans, issuance, work schedules, job descriptions, more job descriptions. Because they're trying to figure out what the hell you all did and if it was even worth the type of money you received. Right? Security detail, employee employee contractor travel, use of vehicles, residency requirements for employees, contractors, donations, because that Friends of Tiffany Henyard thing was somehow that campaign where people made donations. God knows where that went. All annual and quarterly financial reports, all budgets created for this entity, accounting records for all revenue, expenses, assets, liabilities, and equity related entries for the entity. This should include all user data, access, and logs created within any accounting software used. So locking people out of my viewpoint is not going to fare well for you, super stupid. Okay? It's not going to fare well for you because the FBI have IT forensic specialists that can get into that software program and get things that even you think has been deleted. Don't think stuff has been deleted. It hasn't. They'll get it. They also have, forensic accounting auditors. Yeah. You go over the books, the invoices, the general ledgers. They're going to go over all that stuff. They don't take y'all word for anything. Why should they? No, they got their own people that's going to sit here and figure that out. Just give them the information. How that works. All applications, payment receipts, contracts, and or agreements related to loans procured on behalf of the entity. Who child? Accounting records for all revenue, expenses, assets, liabilities, and equity related entries for the entity. Yeah, okay, I read that. I just want to make sure I got that in. All records of payments to employees who include payroll disbursements, reimbursements, direct deposit information, all records of outside employment for employees, contractors that are maintained. Employee handbook. I mean, Lori Lightfoot stated they didn't have a codified set of regulations or anything over there at the Village of Dolton. I'm curious to see if they have that at Thornton Township as well. They probably don't, but I don't know. For all board meetings, please provide the following: meeting agendas, meeting minutes, warrant list presented, any notes and or approvals / denials documented relating to the warrant list, board books. I came across some meeting minutes that were part of an exhibit from a court filing. Not that I was looking for the meeting minutes. It was just an added bonus of finding meeting minutes and having it attached to a court document. That should not be the only way to get meeting minutes. They need to be posted and made available to the public. So hopefully, Thornton and Dolton get those meeting minutes up and posted. Because as you can see, it's not even beneficial to keep it hidden. So I want to post them, make them available to the public because they have the right to know. They have the right to know. All documents related to vehicle purchases and lease to include, but not limited to, contracts, payments, approvals, authorized users, and authorized uses for vehicles. Yeah, go after that Tahoe because Super Stupid bought a Tahoe truck, leased it, don't care, for $149,000. God. Following requests are specific to identified individuals, entities for January 1, 2021 through present day. Any records of municipal resources being used on behalf of 1, a political entity, including but not limited to Friends of Tiffany Henyard; 2, charitable organizations, including but not limited to Tiffany Cares Foundation, Tiffany A. Henyard Cares Foundation, and or Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. So they got all 3 variations of however she want to spell that out, just to cover the bases. But the Friends of Tiffany Henyard is the campaign one. The other 3 were part of that scam from the Cancer Foundation. Yeah, a scam. All records maintained, controlled, or in the possession of the township regarding Tiffany Cares Foundation, Tiffany A. Henyard Cares, and or Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. This should include all records related to September 22 contribution of $10,000 from Thornton Township. Where did that money go, Super Stupid? And why isn't Thornton Township trustees trying to deduct her paycheck to take it back? Take the money back. Take it out of her check. Go get a court to give you an order to garnish that out of her wages. Take that $10,000 back. That keep people from stealing when they realize, oh, this is coming back out my check. It wouldn't be that difficult. He's like, Judge, the FBI is actually asking about this as well. But clearly she took $10,000 from Thornton Township and put it in this scam foundation here. We want the money back, and we want to garnish her wages for it. I don't think any judge would disagree to that. She can stand there and lie all she won't. I mean, really, she was telling the truth. She would do a polygraph test. I would love to see a polygraph test done on you. Yeah, so I can just laugh. That polygraph test would implode. Caution, warning, lying like hell, lying like hell. Boom. Oh my God. All employees contract records associated with the following individuals, including but not limited to hiring/retention, counseling, agreements and or employment contracts, personnel files, work schedules, records of invoices and payments, and job descriptions for Keith Freeman LLC, Government Staffing Advisors LLC, also Keith Freeman's company, Kamal Woods, because he's also being named in everything, and he's a damn idiot. Oh, and Cheryl Scrantz. I'm still going to look her up. All payment disbursements information, including but not limited to expense reimbursements, credit card expenditures, per diems, expense reports, receipts, and electronic communications related to the following individuals: Keith Freeman LLC, Government Staffing Advisors LLC, which is also Keith Freeman's second company, Tiffany Henyard, Vania Dukes, Carmen Carlisle, Gerald Jones, Stan Brown, who should not be a trustee in Dolton. He certainly should not be a trustee, and on the school board over there at what, District 205 or 149? Yeah, no, you should get one of them things up. Why are you on both? Are there not other people that can serve in these spots? It's like you got 3 or 4 people in 2 or 3 different positions. Is there no one else? I don't trust Stan Brown as far as he can be thrown with his Easter suit. I don't trust him. You shady as hell. You sat here for 4 years and you allowed Super Stupid to do all that dumb shit she did without really putting her in check. You either gonna have a spine or you're not. But I don't like Stan Brown. He got to go. He's the worst. Kamal Woods, because Reason Siggy keeps coming up again. Yeah, you walking, burning cigarette. And Cheryl Scrantz. Now tell me, where in this are all trustees being investigated? And if you have the other FBI subpoenas, the full document, send them to me. LadyLuckClubLLC at yahoo.com. Because Cassandra, the cornmeal hops and bars who wears Jordans, said in a separate video, to which I'm going to react to in a second, that all trustees are under FBI investigation. Where do you see all the trustees named? Because you don't read either? Got it. Okay. So they're not all under investigation by the FBI. This is very specific. If anything, the trustees will cooperate and give all the rest of these idiots up. Especially Kamal and Super Super. Oh, they'll give his ass up in a minute. Keith Freeman already flipped. Stan Brown got a comment if he keeps sitting around here doing all this dumb nonsense he's doing. Vania Dukes is definitely cooperating. Carmen Carlisle is definitely cooperating. You know how I know? Because they're protected under the Whistleblower Act. Because they've already stated that they are whistleblowers. Carmen Carlisle in particular. She actually said in a video that she's a whistleblower. Whether you like what she's done in the past or not, at this point is irrelevant when she is protected under the Whistleblower Act and cooperating with the FBI. You don't think she knows that her name is listed on here? No one's going to jail for Super Stupid. But you continue to overlook the fact that they're actually cooperating. What is Stan Brown doing again? Yeah, okay. Kamal Woods is going to take this to the grave, I guess, at some point. Or he just wake up tomorrow and get sick of this and be like, nah, I'm going to go cooperate. Y'all on your own. Bye. I don't even know who Cheryl Scrans is. But to say that the Dolton trustees are all under investigation here, where the hell they listed that again? Yeah, now I see Tiffany Hilliard, Phineas Dukes, Carmen Carlisle, those two who are actually participating and are whistleblowers. Gerald Jones, don't know who he is, but it's certainly not Jason House or Brittany Norwood. Nope, don't see their names on here at all. And I don't see it. Don't see it. Didn't see it on the other documents. Come on, Cassandra Cornmeal. Where are the trustees' names from the village of Dolton listed in this FBI subpoena? Where is it listed? Is it in the other 3 that I may not have read? I'm begging for those documents to be sent to me. I want to see all the FBI subpoenas that were served. Send them to me. Maybe their names are listed in the 3 others that I haven't seen yet. Because so far, I'm not seeing them here. And just saying all of them on the investigation, based on what? Who told you that? Because the FBI is not talking to you. You're not that special. Yeah, okay. Saying dumb things that makes no sense, that documents could easily debunk. Yeah, that's a good way to start off on trying to be somebody's mayor. Ugh. So whoever Gerald Jones is better get it together. And Cheryl Scrans. I'm sure Stan Brown will be next to flip and fully cooperate because he's not that smart. And Kamal just going to go to jail and Hill and wherever else Super goes. So whatever. Please provide all records relating to the below listed entities. Such records should include, but not be limited to, proposals, bids, contracts, or other agreements, license and or permits issued, job descriptions, orders, payments issued, invoices, and internal external communications. Jose Aldaco. No, not a Village of Dolton trustee. Nope. Aldaco Printing, 455 South Center Street, Bensonville, Illinois, 60106. Yeah, no. I don't see Jason's house name in that. Okay, on-demand printing. Nope, not Brittany Norwood. Nope. Jose Aldaco Printing and Graphics, not Kiana Belcher or Jason House. None of them. Yeah, I don't see any of them here. All records relating to Jose Aldaco, invoice number and the specific invoice number, as you can see here, dated September 28, 22. This includes order, invoice, communications, disbursement, and approvals. Still not seeing all of the trustees of the Village of Dolton on here. Records related to Paul Graber, First Government Leasing, 464 Central Avenue, Northfield, Illinois. And I'm assuming that's 60093. For some reason, I cannot expand this or do anything with it. I want to make sure I did it move forward and I miss it? Hold on 1 second. Just want to make sure. We had 1 hour and 33, y'all. I promise you I'm moving this along, trying to go over this information as quick as possible. I guess this is... Y'all don't tell me it got stuck. No, bro. Okay, I gotta stop sharing for a second. Okay, I wanted to just go back to the regular view I had it on. Yeah, because it's not gonna work any other way. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry about that, folks. Back on this horse and ride. And as you all can see, I'm going to let this be the bigger screen so you all can read the information as well. There we go. I had to zoom in a little bit. All right. So the next one would be the contracts, agreements, engagement letters, invoices, description of work, payments relating to the following entities: Delgado Law Group, LLC. Please stop hiring the Delgado Law Group. They're just taking money city by city, town by town. It doesn't make sense. Stop hiring them. Any other law firm / attorneys paid for by the township: Max Solomon, Bo Brinley, I'm sure OSFM, Oderson Murphy. I'm sure they wouldn't mind cooperating fully to ensure that they, the payments, their invoices and things are justified. But they want to know description of work as well. So I hope all these attorneys have their billable hours substantiated with the work that they've so-called performed. Because otherwise, it's just highway thievery. I get attorneys want to get paid too, but come on now. Do you really have to charge $600 to get one motion filed? Come on, seriously. It sounds wasteful to me. But the Delgado Group needs to go. Y'all need to stop using them. I don't think they mean anybody any good. They're just following money. So Jerome Genova, Newsmakers Inc. and Stryker Munley Group. I don't see the Village Board of Trustees on here because Cornmeal said they were there, but maybe not. Now I want to make sure that you guys see the records related to the Paul Graver First Government Leasing. There's the address, including proposals, bids, contracts, or other agreements, payments issued, invoices, and communications between municipal contractors, employees, and First Government Lending. So it is all that the FBI is seeking, just specifically related to Paul Graver and First Government Leasing. Then, of course, all these damn attorneys. Contracts, agreements, engagement letters, invoices, description of work, payments relating to the following. They want everything. All right. All records related to approved, unapproved travel. They want approved and unapproved travel paid for by the township. This should include official purpose for travel, hotel, folios, airfare, per diem request approvals, per diem disbursements, credit card expenses, expense reports, receipts, expense disbursements, and any board of trustee approvals / denials for travel. The response should include, but is not limited to, the following: October 4th through the 15th, 22, Springfield, Illinois; March 2023 to Washington, D.C., May 2023 to Las Vegas, Nevada. So you had 2 major trips in the same year, less than a month or 2 apart. That's not including the Selma, Alabama trip, the trip to Atlanta, the trip to New York. In the live stream, a couple of people mentioned she went to Austin, Texas, Mississippi, and somewhere else. So there are a lot more trips that she's taken on taxpayers' dimes that are not even listed here. But they want all these trips. They want trips. And it says here, the response should include, but is not limited to, the following. Meaning they're not limiting the trips to these 3 trips. So all trips she's taken should be included and submitted to the FBI. And I know the FBI watches my videos because I tagged them on it. So there are more trips than just these 3, FBI. Please go get the other, especially the one in Alabama. I mean, come on. What are you marching on that bridge for? Why are you sitting here and charge stupid money for stupid banners and signs of your face? Out of here, girl. Internal and external communication, electronic communications related all requests listed below. These communications should include, but are not limited to. When you all see including, but not limited to, they're not limiting it to just these 3 or 4 people. But not limited to Tiffany Henyes, aka Super Stupid, Keith Freeman, Robert Hunt, and Kamal Woods. Robert Hunt, let me tell you something. And I had a great conversation, great chit chat with Nate Fields Jr. last night. I know he had mentioned previously that he would keep Robert Hunt as the finance director there at the township, but I wouldn't, because the FBI didn't ask for everybody. But for those they did name, I would be wary of those people. I would not keep Robert Hunt employed because his name is shown up here on this FBI subpoena. Now, either he's caused a problem or he's related to it, or a conspirator of something. I wouldn't even give him the benefit of the doubt with it, because it shouldn't be on here at all, because they didn't name every single person, but they named the ones that they have an interest in. And his name is on here. Robert Hunt's name is on here. So I hope Nate feels that you do pick someone else to be finance director, because whatever he's done, he's brought the FBI attention to himself. And if he was smart, he would cooperate. But I wouldn't sit and just trust him automatically because he knows how to print out a report. Yeah, he also has failed to avoid being, named in an FBI subpoena. I would think twice about Robert Hunt if I were you. You would not want this as a part of your new administration. Trust me, you don't. Robert Hunt may have to be relieved, because I wouldn't want any blemish of this following me in my administration and my staff. For what? Because he could have did some very bad things and you just don't know. Them silent ones are sometimes the worst ones of all. You don't know what they're doing. And they quiet about it. So once again, you see the letter stating that they are commanded to appear and testify before the grand jury on these issues here for this subpoena attached. And once again, they're asking for information, documentation on Tiffany Henyard, aka Super Stupid, Good Burgers Inc., Aisha Properties Inc., Friends of Tiffany Henyard, Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. So we're just gonna run through this so that I can get in. This is the last page here, last 2 pages here. But Aisha Properties Inc., you guys make sure you take a look at that. Because I think that's what she was gonna, my theory time, what she was gonna be selling those $1 houses through. And most of the money that anyone could get from a kickback, if they are doing kickbacks, in my theory time, would be through the vendors, through the contractors, through the ones that will have to be hired to help fix up these houses and getting paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to do it. Yeah, you can buy a home for $1, but if it needs an entire wall and roof and foundation, you're going to be spending more money trying to fix up the place than you would simply buying the house. So guess whose property company is going to come through? Perhaps Aisha Properties Inc. Had she won something. Good thing is she's not going to be mayor. So you guys can bless God for avoiding that nonsense. But who's to say that she would not try to use Aisha Properties Inc. in the future to do something else heinous? Even if she renames it, it still has the same goal. Got to pay attention and be careful. Friends of Tiffany Henyard, that's her campaign nonsense. Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, that was the scam with the cancer. That's such a despicable thing to do. All background records, including applications for employment, personnel files, credit checks, background investigations. All employment and payroll records to include records disclosing the dates of employment, wages or commissions paid, direct deposit, election forms, ACH authorization forms, checks, front and back, used for any payment, all retirement and savings plans, including pensions, annuities, profit sharing plans, IRAs, SEPs, simple, insurance contracts. Records should show employee contributions, balance, accumulation, loans drawn from the accounts, of course, and then all the information related to those loans, records of time and attendance, disciplinary files, records of work performed, including assignments, position title, responsibilities, contract modifications, proposals, and dates of employment, W-2s, W-4s, 1099 documents, IRS Form W-9. They basically want all their tax documents. Records showing the methods of payment for any and all remuneration and or reimbursement of expenses to include receipts, documentation itemizing expenses, accounting of expenses, ACH authorization forms, checks front and back, used for any payment to the above named individual and or entities, all contracts or agreements, invoices received, description of services provided, receipts received for payments made to the above, records documenting payments made to the above named individuals and or entities, including bank statements, check copies, cashier's checks, money orders, wire transfers, automated clearinghouse, ACH, or other negotiable instruments. Checks written to cash or written with the pay to the order of that payee line blank and provided to the above named individuals. So if Super Stupid really went on Facebook Live, held up a check written to cash that was around $500,000 to $600,000, yeah, the FBI wants that. See, here's the thing, Super Stupid. Just because you deleted a video does not mean that the FBI forensic IT specialist cannot retrieve it. You're not that smart, but they are. They can retrieve it. Even if you think you deleted it, they can get it. So whatever video you held up and deleted that was written out to cash for $600,000, yeah, the FBI will be getting that video footage. If they got to go to a couple servers to get it, they'll get it. You want to be dumb enough to put things out there, I say just leave it out there. I mean, if you feel like you're not doing anything wrong, why delete the video? You coward. I really want her to post it up again. I want you to show that you have a spine and post up that check again. That's what I want. So as you all can see here, I don't see any other village or board of trustees named in this FBI subpoena. So to Cassandra, you cornmeal, beer and hops and beers to where's Jordans. You are absolutely wrong. And all of the trustees of the village of Dolton are not under investigation. The FBI does not operate the way you think someone has told you it does. Why you refuse to read it for yourself, I don't know. And as you can see, if they're not a part of the scope of the investigation for documentation, then why would you automatically assume that they're just under FBI investigation again? I'm sorry, who told you that? Yeah, no, I didn't see Jason's house on here not once. I saw Robert Hunt's name on here and Stan Brown. Yeah, okay. So, guys, that's it for me with this. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope that this video comes out right. I've done this a few times, and I know it has been something else. You guys have stuck in here with me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything that everybody is doing. I promise I am going to have StreamYard services acquired soon. Because I want to be able to continue and do more recordings like this and then have to upload it and probably do a premiere on it. But thank you all for your contributions. Thank you for super chats and super thanks. Thank you all for hanging out with me and Nate Fields Jr. in our chit chat, Lady Luck Club's chit chat. I don't like to call it an interview. I wanted him to be comfortable with the conversation that we had. You guys have some great questions. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. So look out for more videos that are coming. And I want you guys to take care of yourselves and each other. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.